There is no denying that sports and athletic activities have always been a mainstay of American society. Indeed, the early colonists bowled, wrestled, raced each other in foot races, raced horses, and competed in many other ways. The competitive nature of these casual games eventually gave rise to organized contests between individuals, and team sports grew to include competitions between towns and cities. Even schools were not left out of the action, as these institutions made sports a recognized extracurricular activity and competed against one another. Eventually, professional sports leagues arose, and these leagues were categorized into tiers based on the level of play. Governing bodies operated these leagues according to their owners' whims, and one of the prominent whims was segregation. Amateur and professional American sports were segregated at all levels in the past, so contests between blacks and whites were frowned upon in almost all sports except boxing. Segregation was eventually destroyed, but it was a long process, and for the black athletes that pioneered desegregation, a painful one as well. However, despite the many racial, social, and economic barriers African American athletes were limited by throughout history, a few super athletes rose above their challenges and shattered all expectations. In today's video, we shine a light on 10 African American pioneers in sports history. Be sure to smash the like button, share your thoughts in the comments section, share, and subscribe to the New Africa Sports channel for more exciting future videos. And now, the list. Fritz Pollard and Gabby Marshall became the first African American players allowed to play in the National Football League in 1920. Marshall played tight end and went on to enjoy a superb athletic career, not just in football, but in boxing, ice hockey, baseball, and track. Pollard also had a superb running career, but soon had to juggle his running back duties with the added responsibility of being an NFL head coach, another African American first. Wilma Rudolph was a famous American sprinter who became a world record-holding Olympic champion and international sports icon in track and field after her 1956 and 1960 Olympic Games successes. She shone brightest at the 1960 Olympics, where she became the first African American woman to win 3 gold medals at one Olympics event. Wilma was reportedly among the most visible black women in America and abroad after this feat, and she naturally became a role model for black and female athletes as a result. What makes her achievements even more impressive is that she was barely supposed to walk in her life, not to mention run, since she was diagnosed with polio as a child. Before Tiger Woods came along and dazzled the golfing world with his incredible talent, there was a man called Charlie Sifford, who many people considered the Jackie Robinson of golf. Sifford was restricted to competing in all-black golf tournaments for the majority of his early career, but he entered the PGA-sponsored Phoenix Open in 1952 upon the invitation of boxer Joe Louis. Sadly, he received several death threats since many racists did not like his participation in the event. Sifford refused to be intimidated though and continued perfecting his game till he entered the PGA Tour in 1961, becoming the first African American golfer to accomplish this. For his contributions to golf, Sifford was inducted into the World Golf Hall of Fame in 2004. He also received the Old Tom Morris Award in 2007 and the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2014. Althea Gibson was the first African American to partake in a pro World Tennis Tour, and also became the first African American woman to win a Grand Slam title at the French Championships. She won Wimbledon and the U.S. Nationals in 1957 and 1958, and was voted Female Athlete of the Year by the Associated Press in both years. In total, she enjoyed 11 Grand Slam wins, which included 6 singles titles. Her athletic accomplishments are widely considered revolutionary due to the huge impact they made on the Black community. As such, she has drawn a lot of comparisons to Jackie Robinson, since both flourished during a period when racism and prejudice were widespread in sports and society. It would take another 43 years for another Black female tennis player, Serena Williams, to win her first U.S. Open. Venus Williams says Gibson's accomplishments set the stage for her success, and her legacy will live on through players like herself and her sister Serena. Jack Arthur Johnson, famously known as the Galveston Giant, was a boxer who became the first African-American world heavyweight boxing champion at the peak of the Jim Crow era. His 1910 matchup with undefeated white opponent James J. Jeffries was dubbed the fight of the century, and race riots exploded all over America when he knocked Jeffries out in round 15. The Galveston Giant had a penchant for white women, which landed him in legal trouble due to the racist laws of the time. As such, he was forced to flee the U.S. for 7 years, but returned in 1920 to serve his sentence at the federal penitentiary at Leavenworth. President Donald J. Trump granted a full posthumous pardon to Johnson in 2018 for his racially motivated felony conviction in 1913. Gabrielle Christina Victoria Douglas, popularly known as Gabby Douglas, is a celebrated African-American artistic gymnast for many reasons. For starters, Gabby is the first African-American to become the Olympic individual all-around champion, a feat she achieved at London 2012. She is also the first American gymnast to win gold in individual all-around and team competitions at the same Olympics. She was also the 2016 AT&T American Cup all-around champion and a member of the gold-winning teams at the 2012 and 2016 Olympics, as well as the 2011 and 2015 World Championships. Gabby Douglas now has her own reality TV series titled Douglas Family Gold, and has written a book about her life and what it takes to win Olympic gold. Bill Russell is, without a doubt, one of the best basketball players in NBA history, and was widely considered number one till Michael Jordan burst onto the scene in the 1980s. He played for the Boston Celtics and was the centerpiece of that Celtics dynasty that won 11 NBA championships. He is also a 5-time NBA Most Valuable Player, a 12-time NBA All-Star, and the captain of the U.S. national basketball team that won gold at the 1956 Summer Olympics. However, his greatest achievement was becoming the first Black coach in the NBA and the first to win an NBA championship. He became the first Black coach in the NBA by starting as a player coach for the Celtics in 1966. It is worth pointing out that although Jim Crow laws in America had been formally abolished by 1966, the after effects of segregation were still present throughout the nation. Nevertheless, he did not allow himself to be weighed down by racism, and today, he is widely credited for paving the way for Black coaches in the NBA. Widely known for his silent but resolute demeanor, Arthur Ashe was the true definition of a barrier breaker. He remains the only African-American male tennis player to win singles titles in the U.S. Open in 1968, the Australian Open in 1970 and Wimbledon in 1975. Ashe was also ranked world number 1 in 1968, the same year he won his first Grand Slam title. He was denied a visa to play in a tournament in South Africa just 2 years later, and he dedicated himself to exposing apartheid and its many injustices. He was also vocal about the American government's poor treatment of Haitian refugees and helped organize tennis programs for inner-city youth. Arthur Ashe also launched an AIDS foundation for further research after contracting the illness from a blood transfusion during heart surgery. Therefore, he was not only a tennis champion, but an activist whose influence extended far beyond the court. No list of iconic black athletes would ever be complete without Mr. Number 42 himself, Jackie Robinson, the first black baseball player in Major League Baseball. He debuted with the Brooklyn Dodgers in April 1947 and destroyed the color barrier for African Americans in the sport. Robinson quietly endured harsh racist treatment from baseball fans and team members alike, but he brushed it off to win Rookie of the Year and proved himself to be one of the game's most talented and fiercest players. Just 2 years into the major leagues, Jackie Robinson won the National League Most Valuable Player award. He'd go on to play in 6 World Series and helped give the Dodgers a World Series win in 1955. Off the field, Robinson was a strong civil rights advocate, speaking out against racial discrimination and encouraging baseball to use its influence to desegregate southern towns and recruit more people of color into the leagues. Today, his name is synonymous with surmounting adversity and perseverance, and his accomplishments changed the way black athletes were viewed in America. The Olympics Games use sports as a unifying experience to help foster peace and make the world a better place, but it will surprise you to know that they have not always been used as such. The 1936 Olympic Games held in Berlin, Germany is the most perfect example out there, since it was used by none other than Adolf Hitler as a means to showcase his despicable belief in the alleged superiority of the Aryan race. However, African-American sprinter Jesse Owens, in one of the best and most significant athletic performances ever, shattered Hitler's racist ideologies and became the most decorated athlete of any race at the Games by winning gold in 4 events: the 100-meter sprint, 200-meter sprint, 4 by 100 meters relay, and long jump. Owens became the first ever American track and field athlete to win 4 gold medals at one Olympic Games. Hitler never publicly acknowledged Owens' incredible achievement out of embarrassment, and America was so segregated at the time that then U.S. President Franklin D. Roosevelt also failed to acknowledge the feats. That concludes our video on the 10 African American pioneers in sports. If you liked this video, please check out our next one on the 10 most fashionable black female athletes. Don't forget to like both videos, comment, share, and subscribe to the New Africa Sports channel for more exciting future videos. Until next time, it's bye for now.